Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel with myself, Isabella. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Today we're going to be doing an Instagram Q&A and a bunch of you sent in a load of questions. So first of all, thank you so much for sending in the questions. I love answering them. And so if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do. There's tons of ballet tips, quotes from my podcast, advice, and Vaganova footage as well. But the ballet tips is a real big one over there. So we have like over 80,000 followers now, which is amazing. And it just brings me joy to share my helpful tips and passion with you all. So let's dive into the questions. Do you suggest taking a day off every week? Absolutely. Even when I was working day in, day out at Vaganova, the thing that held me together the whole week was the idea of having the day off at the end of the week. And I think that's something that really helps you get through this hard week and also helps you push yourself because you think, okay, look, this week's really hard. I'm really pushing myself. I'm practicing every night. I'm going above and beyond. I'm doing the extra practice at the end of the day. But I know at the end of the week, I have that day off. I'm going to plan something nice for myself. I'm going to rest. I'm going to get my nails done. I'm going to go for a nice walk along the river. I'm going to see a friend. And you really need that time for yourself because just remember, you always have to refill your own cup up or refill your own glass up. You can't constantly be slogging away day in, day out. And I know from dancers who have gone to Mariinsky, that's literally what happens because the Mariinsky is Mariinsky and it's often the case that you don't actually get a day off. You just keep going non-stop. And so I do think that tends to lead to suffering further down the line. So definitely take a day off at the end of the week and enjoy it. Don't feel guilty. Enjoy it. I mean, the new week starts again the next day. How to improve quicker? Well, we've definitely discussed this a lot on the podcast, but basically, if you're looking to improve quickly, you need to just be very strategic with what it is you're trying to improve. So if you're trying to improve your flexibility, make it a thing that for 100 days, you're going to work on your flexibility. Every day, you're going to commit to it. And then be strategic. So say, okay, I don't have enough time because of my schedule to stretch my entire body. But what I'm going to do is Monday, I'm going to stretch my hamstrings. Or Monday, I'm going to do 15 minutes of hamstrings, 20 minutes of glutes, and hips. And then the next day, okay, I'm going to focus a bit more on my split and make sure that's improving as well. But be very strategic because sometimes we can get very overwhelmed with the fact we can't fit in everything every day. That's what I help a lot of my principal members with because with the principal membership on my platform, you get a strategic plan and you get literally a plan to follow that matches your personal goals. So I'm there literally helping you throughout the months get to where you want to be. And so it can be really highly beneficial for you. Next question. What is your favorite ballet? Oh my gosh, this is a good one. I think my favorite ballet, I love all the Russian ballets and the ballets that are a little bit obscure. Classic ballets, I'd probably go with La Bayadere and Swan Lake. I don't think I can actually choose one, but I adore Corsair. I love Corsair and it's one of those ballets that's not hugely done outside of Russia, and it's always just something that I love mainly because of the music. I'm always attracted to ballets that have the most amazing music. I'd love it if people did Spartacus more because the music's so amazing. I know the Mariinsky's just done La Fille du Pharaon. That again the music is so incredible and you just want to dance when you hear that music. So even that could be a favorite of mine. What was the difference between the sidebar and the center bar you mentioned in your post? Obviously, I mentioned recently in a post because an amazing follower called Marianne, she was at a Vaganova conference and she was there my second year and then she was there my fourth year. So she actually witnessed my progression and witnessed me going from the sidebar to the center spot. And essentially the sidebar is basically where the, let's say, less talented people go. But to be honest, nowadays in the Vaganova, everybody is all really talented, so it sounds quite harsh to say that, but it's just the people who stand on the center bar are very much the favored ones, the ones who they've decided are going to be something. And so for me, also as a foreigner at the time, and there was not many foreigners there at all, it was a very small handful of us. For me as an English person to go from the side to the center of the center because again, it's also ranked like how close to the center you are, was a huge deal. And so that's what that means. And essentially had decided that I was one of the most capable. I'm feeling defeated and I don't know how to enjoy class now. Well, first of all, I'm sorry you're going through that. That sucks. Feeling defeated is completely normal. You're a human being. Just remember that. Even though dancers are seen as this godly thing, you're very much a human being. It's totally normal that you'll go through phases of lacking in motivation, even lacking in discipline. But when I'm feeling this way and feeling like, oh, I just don't want to do anything, I'm feeling quite defeated, I would do something for myself. And so usually what happens is when you're close to burnout and close to giving up, it's usually because you haven't done enough for yourself that keeps you feeling good and keeps you feeling up, because there's more balance in your life. Maybe you're not exactly enjoying class because you haven't had enough time to rest and recover and enjoy your life outside of the studio. So if you're feeling like that, just forget about ballet for a second and go outside and do something for yourself. It's really, really important. And it sounds like the opposite thing to what you think I may say, like, oh, you just got to push yourself and practice more. But when you're feeling like this, do something for yourself and remove it. And then you should feel like more like yourself again. And so that then you have more energy and more balance and motivation to then go back in and say, okay, now I'm feeling better. I can do this. So there's a lot of you guys that are saying tips and stretches for back flexibility, tips for middle splits and keeping hips square, all this kind of stuff. First of all, obviously with my platform, I would totally go on my platform, ballerina.com. You get a trial and try it, and basically try all the stretching classes. We have back flexibility, hamstring flexibility, all of these things, and all of those things can really, really help you. But with regards to stretching itself, and you'll hear me say this a lot, the key to anything is consistency. So being consistent with what it is you want to achieve. So if you want to get flexible, guess what? You got to stretch most days, if not every day. Now, if you're obviously first starting out and just starting to get a stretching routine, then you may find that you need to have one day on, one day off. And so that's totally normal as well. Don't worry too much about that, but that is still consistent. Just don't allow yourself to go 2 days. Just make that a rule. I'm gonna do one day, okay, I don't feel like it today, I'm feeling down, or I'm sore, my muscles are sore from stretching, I'm gonna have a day off, but then I'm gonna go back again the next day. Like anything, consistency. And if you're looking for exact guidance of the types of stretches you should definitely do for those certain areas, check out my platform, because that's what it's for. We have a huge relaunch coming very soon, end of May, in early June. And so if you haven't checked it out yet, that's the time to check it out. Can I be a ballerina if I don't have hyperextension? And do you have it naturally? If not, how did you get it? This is really funny for me to hear, because I've never thought of myself as someone who has hyperextension, because I don't really. My legs are pretty straight. Yes, I definitely gained more as I progressed, but the thing that makes me look like I have hyperextension is I have archy feet. So when I'm standing on demi-pointe, it's more obvious. You can see my hyperextension because my arch makes my leg look more swayed back than it actually is, along with the fact that I stretched my hamstrings a lot because I needed to gain more flexibility in my hamstrings anyway, but stretching my hamstrings and stretching my calves really made a difference in the line of my leg, along with I really gained strength in my thighs. When I went to Vaganova and I was held back a year, I've told you before, like, we focused a huge amount on the strength of my legs. And because I started to then build up strength and build up muscle in the thighs, again, it just looks like I have more muscle in general. So that would be something I would focus on. Build strength in your legs, but also release and stretch the hamstrings more. By stretching your hamstrings, you'll find that the line of your leg just becomes better, along with stretching your calves as well. All these things can help. And again, consistency is key. How to deal with weight at the Vaganova. Was weight a big topic? Good question. As you can see in my videos, I was somebody who was thin. I'm having some coffee now. I was somebody who had good genes in the sense that my family is all quite thin. And so being thin as a young lady was something that was relatively easy for me to sustain, especially with all the hard work we were doing. It was quite easy to maintain a level of thinness. However, there were some girls who were obviously developing and a lot more mature than me because I matured much later. Unfortunately, if a teacher thought that a person was overweight, they really wouldn't be very candid about it. They would be pretty blunt and just say, "You're fat." That's like a terrible way to go about it, and the dancers would cry and things like that. I do think it's part of the culture. And for example, the Russian girls would then be very honest about it with themselves and be like, "Yeah, I am fat. Yeah, I eat too much. Yeah, I this, I that." They seem to be quite accepting of the abuse of someone's telling them they're fat, but obviously they were like super upset. It's just not something you really want to hear in that manner. There's no kind of sense of, "Oh, we'll take you to a nutritionist. Oh, we'll have that chat. We'll help you with your diet." It's kind of just like, "You're fat, deal with it." I'm hoping that's changing. Whereas my teacher at the time had said to me, "Oh, you need to like gobble your food." She said, "You need to gobble," because I was thin, especially when a teacher told me to lose weight, even though I definitely wasn't overweight. But they told me to lose weight, and obviously I listened, and then they said I was anorexic looking. There's a whole ride of things, but at some point you just decide, you know what, I'm not gonna listen to anyone's opinions. How I feel matters, and how I think I look. You know, I'm gonna go by how I look. I stopped weighing myself after a while. I just didn't enjoy it. You know, it's bound to make you go down a spiral of low self-esteem. Yeah, I would be really careful if anyone's telling you to lose weight, and just really make sure they're doing it in the best possible way. It's never a nice thing to hear. If you do get that told to you, I would talk to a dance nutritionist such as Rachel Fine. Yeah, at The Point Nutrition, we've been chatting a lot on my podcast, and she's going to be doing some stuff on my platform. So like, I would not recommend anyone else. Yeah. Did the teachers pay as much attention to international trainees as to the Russian students? Yes and no, actually. They were pretty good. I would say, I think it's different in Bolshoi, because obviously in Bolshoi they have a whole foreigners section, like a different foreigners class, like you're completely separated. Unless you do well, and then, oh, you're lucky enough to be put together, like what happened with Joy and things like this, Joy Womack. But in Vaganova, it's quite nice. There's no kind of separate foreign thing. We're in with the Russians, which is why as well, I think they take their time in choosing who's going to come in. They're not just going to choose anyone, because you will be with the Russians representing this class and representing Vaganova. So it's really important. I would say initially, again, you have to just earn respect. Initially, when you turn up, yeah, you're slightly ignored. It's kind of just like, okay, I'm just going to try to grasp what's happening here and try to be as good as possible and learn as much as possible, because I always tried hard. I just wanted to try my best. I wanted as much attention as I could get. I wanted goods, I wanted corrections, I wanted everything. People always respond to hard work, and people always respond to someone really trying and keenness, even if you're not the best one initially. And so the teachers responded to that and gave us, there was only maybe a couple of foreigners in my class at the time, and yeah, they gave us attention. But people always respond to hard work, and regardless whether you're foreign or not. And then if they like you and you're seemingly improving and really taking on what they're saying, then who knows? And yeah, I ended up on the center. I mean, that's rare. Can you say a sentence in Russian? Sure. Привет, меня зовут Isabella, я из Англии, и я люблю тебя. When did you know you wanted to become a ballerina? I don't know. I guess I just started doing ballet when I was 2. My mum put me in ballet class, and then I got to like age 7 or age 9, and I started having a Russian coach in the UK, and then boom, I was sold. I loved it. And I never really thought to myself, I want to be a ballerina, until I think it just kind of evolved, and I was just like, this is what I want to do. And so with it, like anything, it usually happens when you're quite young in a field like this. So I would say when I was 9, really, which is young. This is really cool. First of all, she goes, how are you so amazing? Well, I'm a total human being who has many, many flaws and has many days where I wake up and don't want to face the world. So I mentioned this on my podcast because I know a lot of you guys think, or may think, I have it all together all the time, but no. But thank you so much. And then she goes on and says, what kept you motivated when you were unhappy at the Royal Ballet? Yeah, really good question. And thanks so much for asking. I really appreciate it. And your name's Izzy as well. Hey, Izzy. This was really difficult, but what kept me motivated, I think, was just the fact that, and I'm quite impressed that I even had this psyche at the time, because when you're in an institution like this, it can feel like very small world syndrome. But I think I had already been visiting the Vaganova whilst I was at the Royal Ballet School. And so the thing that kept me going was literally thinking that there's more to life than this, and I will have a life in ballet beyond this institution. And so I may as well try my best here and get whatever I can out of it, because if I don't try my best here, then I may not succeed in other areas of my life outside of this school. And so even though I was having a pretty crappy time, it kept me going, because I thought, well, maybe I'll end up going somewhere else, like Russia, maybe. And obviously they're amazing there. I want to be the best I can. That's what kept me going, was thinking outside of the bubble I was in and what's beyond this, and just taking it one class at a time. Please post even younger videos. Yeah, I will. I have many. I have some when I was like 12. You've seen some of those, but not loads of them. I will post more. They're great. How do you not lose progress in 4 weeks off due to summer break traveling? I know summer break can be like a really stressful time, because yeah, you have to take time off. And first of all, I want you to enjoy the time off, because 4 weeks out of your entire year is pretty much nothing. And so allow yourself to enjoy that period of time. It rarely happens. Go for it. And just accept that, okay, I'm probably going to lose a little bit of strength here, but doesn't mean you have to stop completely. Doesn't mean you have to just lie down. Like, of course, still keep stretching. Stretching's the number one thing that like will go fast. So stretch, and also just do a fantastic, mat conditioning workout. You can find that on my platform. Go for it. They're really, really intense. And so that'll just keep you ticking over. But then the rest will really benefit your body, and you'll go back, sure, feeling a little bit rusty the first 1 or 2 weeks, but then you'll be feeling even better than before, because you'll have way more energy and your body will feel much more healed in a way from how much you worked beforehand. And it's so important to have that rest. So enjoy yourself, but just do enough that keeps you fit, but isn't exhausting you as well. All right, guys, let's have a couple more questions and then we'll leave it there for today, because these can go on for like an hour. I'll do another one for sure. As a late starter, what is the best possible thing I can do to catch up and make it professionally? Really good question. So if it was me and I was starting late, it's really important to be organized and to make sure your time is used as effectively as possible, because your time is valuable. So don't waste your time going to like 3 drop-in classes in a row. I see so many dancers going to like maybe 2 or 3 drop-in classes back to back. And it's like, I've never done that. I think it's a waste of time, and I don't think you're really improving. Do one very good drop-in class you take value from and you take a lot of information from, and it really challenges you, but you also learn a lot. Do that one. Think about investing in private lessons so you can really get to grips with what you need to work on specifically, because private lessons just help you improve so much faster, and your understanding of things is so much greater. And so even if you're just an adult hobbyist, having private lessons is an amazing thing, so you understand it better, because you'll see yourself progress much, much, much faster than if you were just doing drop-in classes year after year after year, and you become stagnant and you don't learn as much. So it's really, really important. Organized and making sure you're using your time as effectively as possible, and then you'll improve. As well as you'll have to work on your stretching, your conditioning, because it won't be enough just to go to the classes. You basically need to treat yourself like a professional and come up with a really strategic routine. If you're trying to catch up and you're starting late, floating from day to day, thinking, oh, maybe I'll do this, maybe I'll do that, just won't be enough in trying to succeed in this industry. And so really come up with almost like a very strategic school-like schedule, where you've got your ballet classes, you've got your conditioning, you've got your stretching, your private lessons, and even how you eat. You're eating healthily and sustainably, and you're sleeping well, all these kinds of things. And then I'm sure you will see improvement in a matter of weeks. All right, final question, and I think this is a really cute one. What do you love most about ballet? Oh my gosh, what do I love most about ballet? I love ballet for so many reasons. I love ballet because of the music that we get to dance to. I love ballet because I love working hard for something. I love working hard and achieving something that seemingly seems impossible. And I love improving. I love getting better. And I love the sensation of dancing and feeling like you're free, and having that technical freedom, working towards that, even when things seem so difficult. And then the feeling you get when you achieve something technical after weeks of practice and then you realize, oh, I can do it. Despite all those things, it really is just the love of dancing and the love of dancing in such a beautiful way to beautiful music and being able to express that. And obviously now I'm sharing my passion with a lot of you now. And so for me, that is also bringing out so much more love for ballet than I did when I was actually dancing, full time. And so, yeah, it's amazing that I'm able to do this with you now. So guys, I want to ask you, why do you love ballet? Do you love ballet because of the music? Do you love ballet because of the costumes or the productions, or what's the reason? Comment down below. I would honestly love to hear your reasons, and everyone's reason is always different, which is always really, really interesting. So please let me know why you love ballet. Thank you so much for watching this video today. As I said before, please follow me on Instagram because that's where all these questions come from. And there's many ballet tips on there, which I know you will enjoy. And I just want to say thank you so much for the support, and I will see you very soon. Keep dancing, keep improving, and I'm here to help you all the way, be it on my podcast, on this channel, or on my Instagram. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye for now.